It sounds like from what you're saying that Central Florida's tourism and economy really hinges on Disney tourism. But I do want to talk about the political implications here. It's widely speculated that DeSantis will jump into the presidential race. In most polls, he is coming second only to frontrunner Donald Trump. So politically, is this a smart move? And how should he maneuver? It sounds from what you're saying, he is doubling down.
Right. And, as a former political consultant and campaign manager, I just kind of have to shake my head because it seems like, throwing good money after bad. The original attack on Disney, when it was just rhetoric, it got him on Fox News. He raised, for his governor's reelection, he raised money from all 50 states. He raised more money than I think any incumbent Republican governor. It made him a national figure. But he's gotten into the mess of it, and it's gotten to be a really tricky problem that the more he fights it, the more complicated and messy it gets. It's starting to really put some smudges on his, previously squeaky image. He has marketed himself and said this repeatedly to contrast himself with Trump, that he's the no drama guy, he's the competent executive. But this fight with Disney is the very definition of stupid soap opera drama. And it's not a competent executive when he, rushed forward a bill that, none of the legislators that voted for it had talked to anybody in either county or Disney or reading when they passed it. They would have repealed the whole thing, dumped $1 billion of debt onto the taxpayers. And then this second bill with this hastily appointed puppet board that's running into its own legal problems because Disney lawyers are very smart. I went to law school with some of the former and current attorneys. They are very, very clever. It's just getting worse and worse for him. How does he say he's the no drama competent guy? You get Trump without all the mess, when he is deliberately making this mess and adding more mess on top of it on a daily basis.
To your point, I was just going to say that Republicans I've talked to have said he's like Donald Trump without the baggage, without the drama. So do you think that this fight potentially can bury his campaign before it really has legs and takes off?
I said to a few friends last April when all this started that if DeSantis's political ambitions faltered, it would be because he tried to pick a fight with Mickey. So I hope that if I'm proven right, I hope that they'll be my witnesses that I called this last April. But it's the things that he has marketed himself as, that I do well. I manage this well. I've managed the state well. Florida's a big state. Has good points that that Florida's economy didn't suffer as bad during the pandemic as many had, even with the tourism coming to a complete halt. But how do you say you're business friendly when the messaging is, if you criticize the governor a little bit, I'm going to attack your structures, your corporate structures? I mean, one of the things that he's trying right now is trying to undo a development agreement between Reedy Creek and Disney. This isn't just a political fight with Disney. These development agreements are commonly done by real estate developers. Like if you come in and you bought a whole bunch of acres and you're building, a bunch of suburban homes, the real estate developer would put in place a development agreement that restricted, certain types of things and certain, conflicting uses to keep the quality and integrity of that development. To say that the government can come in afterward and undo that contract because they don't like something that someone involved in the project did or said, besides violating the First Amendment, there's something called an ex post facto law, and there's some other constitutional things that the government is not allowed to come in and meddle with contracts after the fact. I mean, this is sending a really chilling message to people who want to make investments in the state of Florida that, well, that's cool. There's a lot of opportunity here and we're open for business and it's the Sunshine State. But, if the governor gets a little ticked off at you, he's going to declare a nuclear war.
I think nuclear war is the perfect way to put it. I mean, the implications, as you've said, cannot be overstated.